Hi, Fernando, how are you? How have you been?
Very well, thank you, William, very well.
We saw the message that you sent on all the corporations that have not paid their taxes, that have been suspended. And that's good, very good news.
Yes, I would like to add that this law was enacted and were published this morning. And as of now, I've already read a lot of comments from legal forums showing that it has several errors. So maybe they're going to amend some things of this law, but the good thing is that the procedure that I described to you a couple of weeks ago, remember?
Yes.
We're at the end of that procedure because the law was published. Apparently with a couple of errors, but I suppose that they can amend those errors. The main error is that the law that fixed the corporate tax, we're talking about two laws. One to start and then a second law. And this, the post makes reference to the law number of the initial law. So people are wondering if companies that were dissolved, like our companies, during the years that the second law was enacted, if those companies will also receive the benefit. The answer is yes, because that was the spirit. But from a technical point of view, I think that they forgot about making reference of both laws. And there are other two minor errors, apparent errors. So, but the good thing is that we're moving and faster. And I suppose that in a couple of days, everything is going to be cleared. And at least the group is going to have handy the procedure to revive the companies. And that is one of the things that I think we're going to discuss today.
Okay, very good. Well, that's good news then. The main subject for today, Fernando, is the offer, from Mr. Tripp, the buyer, Mr. Tripp Snyder, the buyer, Robert Stephen Snyder, to buy the property. So we have a price that he agreed, that the buyers and sellers agreed upon, and the sellers are insisting on, and he knows that, are insisting on having that price, which is $625,000 US, be net to them. That means except for the expenses that are the responsibility of the sellers. Okay, like if there's any legal fees, that kind of things, but anything else would have to be paid for by the buyer. Okay, in principle, and Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong. In principle, he accepted it.
Yeah.
That would be the case, and so he. Following that, we sent to him, Mark and I, we sent a sort of a summary of what we expect, okay? That we have nothing, we don't want to have anything to do with zonage requirements, except signing the right papers for them to be able and do the zonage, but we don't want to be responsible for the outcome. So he has to buy whatever the outcome he has to buy. Number two, we don't want to be responsible for any soil investigation results unless they are, really nefarious. That means, somebody dumped CBD there in the soil, and the land is cannot be utilized for the purpose, and that there would be no other conditions really, and that we asked for the deal to be completed within a very short period of time, and he gave us that. It's 45 days, including the 45 days includes a 15-day extension of time. Am I right, Mark?
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Now, we received from him, to make it short, we received from him this offer that still contains reference to everything that I mentioned. So he talks about the soil tests and so on, that he would be responsible for the costs. But he goes through a very complicated way of explaining that he would be responsible for the costs. On the subject of zonage, he also refers to it, and he says that if it takes longer, that he would still go through with the purchase. Now, the only reason that I'm mentioning all these things, it sounds positive when I mention it to you verbally, but the writing of it and including these references in the agreement is very circumstantial. That means it can be subject to misinterpretation, in my view, and I think other people who read it would think that. We would still be, of course, responsible for all the payments that has to be given to government, for the corporations. If there are any outstanding taxes, we're ready to do that. We're ready to do all the other things really that he asked for. But in many cases, he goes back to saying, like he used to do before, that he would be responsible to pay, but also he adds the words that it would be deducted from the
price.
From the price, but that's not what we're saying. We're not asking him just to pay, we're asking him to carry the cost, which he understands. When you, Mark, when you talk to him or when you write to him, he understands that.
Yeah, I have emails confirming that. We're clear on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, for instance, in my view, okay, there's the water permits. I forgot the water permits. He still refers to the whole story about, lot 8 is going to be joined with lot 5 to build this hotel. We don't want the stories of
what they plan to do.
Exactly, with what's his name, Don Quixote and Cervantes. All we want is just to say that these things will be done by him, and that's all, and at his cost. It's as simple as that.
So, what have you thought about? Which way have you thought about going to solve that? To solve the problem. When I read the English version, I have the feeling that it is not sufficiently clear. and that the wording is not like done by someone that has English language as first language, etc. But I mean, I can try and be of help to you if you send to me the specific points in which you have agreement with them, so that I can review the document and try to keep it simple and see that those things are said and not contradicted elsewhere, and to try to see what is extra that should be taken out. And I don't know if they can provide to us a Word version, or I can convert this into Word so that we can work with track changes. That's usually the way it's done. I mean,
Yes.
they send the offer and one gives it back with the track changes as a proposal, and then it comes back and suddenly you have a final document. But I don't know, what are you thinking to do to make sure that the contract reflects the agreements that you already have?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did respond or send an email to Trip, a copy to you, copy to the committee. I don't know if you saw it, saying saying clearly what are the conditions that we discuss about, and we want him to review and make it simple as condition. I don't know if you have it. We can review it. Or...
I'm not sure. I saw one of your emails, but I'm not sure if that is the email you're saying or you're talking about. But
sent, I think 2-3 days ago. Lucy, do you have it? Can you show it?
Is it the one Mark that we sent to him? I put our 3 signatures, said it's signed by three of us. Is that
excuse
the
me,
one?
I have one here in which you say soil tests, price, any other proposal. Maybe that's email you're talking about. One of Sunday at Sunday afternoon.
Yes, that's the one.
Well, again, I don't know. I mean, that's a way to do things. Maybe he will come back to you with some changes, and etc. I mean, that's another way to work on this. I mean, you have already shown to him what is it that you think that is missing, and he should come back. But again, hopefully he should come back with the same document, but showing the changes, so it's easier to review. And
yes.
But I mean, there are different ways to check a document or to review a document or to come up with a version that satisfies everyone. And one way is like you just did. I mean, sending him your observations. He should come back, then we could review again and do that, you know, as many times as necessary to have a document that is clear enough for everyone.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
go
ahead.
his ability to do it, but the other option is that you make one very simple, and we sign it and we send it to him and say, then that's it. That's our final proposal or counteroffer. What do you think, William?
I think that's the best way is for us. It's, you know, when we cannot just make comments to him and expect to suddenly to see another offer. I mean, he sent an offer. It's up to us really to, based on our verbal agreements and other things, is to send to him an offer the way we see it, based on what he agreed on, you know, verbally or otherwise. All right.
Okay.
I think that would be the best thing, and that would be the we would send it to him. That would be the first copy that we would share with him and his legal people. Actually, there's a name there, if I'm not mistaken.
Wes, the name is Wes.
Wes. Okay, all right. So we can send it to Wes, and then we wait for an answer, and we will write to Wes separately when you send it, that you know, this is on. You're sending it by what is it called, where they can make the corrections? They can see the corrections and then send it back and
track changes.
The track changes. Yeah.
In Word, yeah. There's a tool there.
But let me ask a question, Fernando, before we go any further. You read the Spanish version. I don't know whether it's compatible. Is it the same sort of, more or less the same translation or of the English, or is it different?
It seems like the Spanish version is the initial version.
Okay.
That's my feeling. The Spanish version, the Spanish is good Spanish. So it seems like someone worked on the Spanish version, probably the attorneys following his comments or his instructions, and then they did a translation. There are certain things that are not identical or equal, and maybe it's because of carelessness or an error, but very important things regarding what you just said. I mean, that he has to buy regardless of. I think in Spanish it's more clear than in English. In Spanish it's more like, more as you said it. I think that what you're, I mean, if you think it's good to prepare an offer and send it to them, that's a better way of doing this in this case, that's okay. If you want me to prepare an offer, and of course we would review it before sending it to Schneider, I could go ahead and do that. No problem. And yeah, maybe that's the way to go. At the beginning, I thought it was better to do it the other way around, because usually, you know, buyer is preparing those documents, and I don't know Mr. Schneider at all. I've heard of him, but I don't know him, and sometimes certain people want to more or less keep control of things, and I don't know what his reaction would be if he receives a different document. But I mean, this is not very sophisticated. He shouldn't feel bad about receiving something if it's clearer. So we could do that. If we're going to do that, and I don't know if you decide to do that, I would really like to have from you the specifics or the things that you are more interested in. And of course, I would like to know if certain things that are written here, if that's correct. And I would like to point out certain things that I think that are not either convenient or clear here.
Is it better to start, well, for us, it's better that the response is in English, and afterwards we can have a good translation in Spanish of the document.
I was wondering why should we have something in Spanish if no one talks Spanish? I mean, do you rather work in English or in Spanish?
No, in English it would be better, but I don't know what the law is over there, you know.
Well, no, I mean, And Schneider, I suppose that he likes to work in English also, or he understands
yes.
better English. Well, if we had to go to court, of course, we would have to have an official translation of the document. Or if we had to go to arbitration. But otherwise, at this time, between the parties, the document is a contract. It's law between the parties, regardless of the language.
Mhm.
I suppose that the attorney that's going to be doing a lot of work is Roberto Quiroz, because Roberto Quiroz is going to be doing, according to this document, he's going to be doing a lot of work for the group. I suppose he knows English because he's well-known attorney, and a lot of people talk English in Costa Rica. So I really think that there's no need to have this in Spanish.
Okay,
That
all right.
probably makes it clearer that the legal counsel of Schneider works better in Spanish, so they prepared a document in Spanish and then they did a translation. But and going back to the offer, if I had to prepare an offer, I mean, if you tell me prepare an offer, I would try to find the simplest offer I can find done by realtors, because we receive a lot of offers that are evidently done by realtors, and probably try to make it more graphic, I mean, or more
Logical.
more like price, due diligence, date, more to the point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way to do it. More simple.
Yes.
I'm sure
yes.
if you read the emails that William sent and mine, you will see points like that. Like me, the email was, okay, your condition, our condition, and was very simple. Do you want us to rewrite this?
I didn't understand that, Mark. Excuse me.
Okay. What I said is in the emails you've been copied, I believe you have included the email I sent to Trip and the email that
Ferme ta caméra. Ferme ta caméra, Marc.
also wrote down, and they are very specific points like you mentioned. So
Okay, Mark,
I'm asking you, is it enough to start with, or you want us to rewrite?
May
Do
I
you hear me
intervene, Fernando and Mark? The emails that we sent are very specific, all right?
Okay.
And what we will do to kickstart everything is we will collate the information for you, and we will put it in one document with all what we think are the key points, all right?
Okay.
But those key points will be very clear. Notwithstanding that, there are other parts in there, like towards the end of the document in English, that have to do, they're things that I'm not used to myself, so we have to leave it to you to determine the importance of those points.
Sure. I understand that. In addition to the input that you're going to give to me, of course, I have to include the legal content that I know is better to have.
Yes,
than not to have, because of the way things work. Sure.
Okay.
And if you can forward to me a document, that's great. And of course, I will check the emails that Mark shared. But of course, for me, it's more convenient and clearer if I have only one document.
Yes.
But again, I don't want to put you to work unless you already have more or
you
less
hear
those
me now?
ideas. That would be great.
Mark, did you hear what we were saying and what is it? Were you able to hear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe one comment is those points are really simple. Why don't we discuss about them now? It's very simple.
Because, we have to give it to him in writing, Mark, because it's you know, it won't be different whether it's verbal or if we make it verbal now, we may miss something. So it's better to spend the time. We put it on one document and we send it to him, to Fernando, and it'll be clear for him instead of going
Okay.
through all the points now.
Because there's only 5 points. So
No, I realize that, but there were other things that you know, will put, you know, there are points that I did not put, for instance, in the one that that I prepared and we sent. And there were what I call the little details of those points, which is, you know, how you want to get paid and this and this and that. We can see if it's, you know, we can put that separately down below. So first we put the key points, and then we just put the other points that you actually sent directly to Trip Snyder.
Okay. That's great. I have a question. I don't know if I can ask something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I read the document, it's clear to me that after the document is signed, there's a 30-day due diligence term, more or less. Afterwards, there's a 15-day term to close. And there's a possibility of extending the whole term for an additional 15 days. So we're talking about 60 days.
Yes.
But on other parts of the offer, it says that, or it talks about two things. One that we do not control, which is the change of the nature of what can be done in the lot. That's something that we don't control. And that's something I understand the management is working on. But we do not control that. And the other thing is the description of the process of reviving the companies and the whole process. But my question to all of you is, do you want to make it clear that the term of this agreement is 60 days, no matter what? And at the end of the 60 days, if we're not ready to sell and they're not ready to buy, then the agreement is over? Because the way it is written, for me, it's not that clear. It seems like if the 60-day term, if we're reaching the 60-day term finalizing, and the condominium work has not been concluded, or we have not concluded the work of getting the authorizations and the whole thing, I think that he could say, hey, I'm ready to buy, but you're not ready to sell, and I want to continue, and you have to continue this.
Fernando, maybe I can try to, you hear me well now?
Yes.
Okay. Like in time, okay, the timeline, the condition with time, there's only two, the
the soil tests that he's supposed to do. And he said he's gonna do it quickly, just after we agree with we both sign. And the other thing is about the change for the zonage. We already met the condition, and the condition was not that the government approve it and so on. It was only that we attempt at a meeting that we did, and we vote yes, we want to change.
Okay.
So clearly, this point, it's on his side, and there's no other condition for us at that point. So the two conditions that have like a time is the soil test and us to show that we are clear of taxes, etc.
Okay.
That's true, Mark, except that what Fernando was trying to say, that we could have things that we have, for instance, dealing with this, to have all the companies in order with all the taxes paid and so on, we could be delayed also.
Yes, I understand that.
No, and
That's
what, yeah, and what he's trying to tell us is that we could get to the point where he is ready and we are not ready. And if
Yes.
we say it's 60 days and that's it, that's all, then we could also suffer from that condition if he wants to change his mind. He can say, well, in that case, I changed my mind, you know? So,
Yeah,
so
that's why the way I see it is, and the way I wrote it is, at the end of this time, okay, if both agree to extend, then we'll extend.
Mhm.
I think that's the best way.
yes, because you cannot really force somebody to buy if he doesn't want to buy at the end of the day. It's go into a battle, you know? So, but it's there may be, you know, it's any extension beyond the 60 days would be with the agreement of both parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So that's okay. I was more concerned on conditions to be met by third parties, but Mark has already made clear that the change of zonage, that we have already complied with what he was expecting from us. See, what I didn't want to, or I think it's not convenient to be in a position where, given that a third party is not performing, you are stuck with the deal.
Yeah.
Because who knows? I mean, at some point, who knows if you could be interested in not being tied to him for some reason. A new buyer, prices going up, whatever, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, that's possible.
Okay, and the other thing I think that that there's like a question mark is that according to this agreement, the work regarding the companies is going to be done by this attorney Quiroz, and if that's how it is, it's okay. But here it says that he's going to present to the group an offer of the cost of precisely taking care of the whole thing.
Yes.
So I have a question. What if he presents to you an offer that is, according to you, or that you feel that is excessive?
Well, I don't know why he raised that. I saw that, I read it, and this is one of my big question marks actually, is that why is he doing that? You know, our job is that we have 10 companies. The 10 companies are selling the land, all right? And I mean, you're the one who has to take care of those companies, see how much we have to pay the taxes, pay the any penalties if they're due. You know, we will clean up our slate, as they say in English. Yeah. And then it's up to him. He wants to turn them into a circus, he can, but it should be outside this deal, you know. he buys the land from the company, and that's it. Then he does what he wants with it.
But according to the offer, I don't know what the understanding is, but according to the offer, early in the process, I will have to send the books, which I already received 2 days ago. I forgot to tell you that. I have not checked all the box, so I suppose everything is there. But according to the offer, I have to send the books to Roberto Quiroz, the attorney. And the offer says that all amounts owed to me will be paid by you, and that will be deducted from the price. That's just the mechanics. That's what it says. And that he will take care of all of the work. I don't have any problem with that. And I think that that has positive things and negative. A positive thing of him doing all that work is that you can always say to the buyer, hey, your attorney is taking care of all of that work. Therefore, we're not going to be responsible if for example, if he delays on something or whatever. It also has a positive is that the buyer will probably feel very safe that everything is being done well, according to him, because it's his attorney or the attorney that he chose that's going to pay taxes, take a look at the powers of attorney. He will probably have to deal with the case of the shareholder that passed away, of Cora, etc. So it's like selling a car with a problem. You're the seller and the buyer is saying, okay, the car is going to be repaired by my shop. So as a seller, you could say, well, excellent. So I think it's a possibility and it's good. And this guy is well known. So you're not going to fall into an attorney that's not going to do the work or that's going to delay, etc. But my question is that here it says that you will receive in the following 15 days a proposal, a budget. And that's where I don't know that the offer says that you accept that Roberto Quiroz is going to do the work because that's what the buyer is proposing. But what happens if the guy comes back and says, okay, this costs $40,000 or whatever, or an amount that you don't feel comfortable because you're insisting on net. And I suppose that the other shareholders are expecting a net in their pocket, minus, of course, minus expenses.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't know if Roberto Quiroz is going to give you a high figure or a low figure. That's the only question. What if his proposal is very expensive?
Yeah, I did not, when I read that, I'm very Cartesian. So to me, I put everything in boxes, nicely, neatly, tidy, boxes. So to me, that part was in our box, not in their box. I've never in my life had a situation where I was trying to sell something and somebody else had to fix it,
okay,
for the sale, especially the buyer. But you are right that there is an advantage to it, other than we lose control of the cost. It could be.
I have a comment.
Yes.
But do you agree with me that the offer says that attorney is going to take care of that work?
Yes, I agree with you that that's what it says.
Okay. So you have to decide if that's okay or not. But my only question is, my only concern is that you do not know beforehand what is the cost, and it's reasonable before taking a decision to know which is the cost. That's my only comment. I think that you should get a very good price because he's going to take care of the transfer. That means that he's going to charge his client, the buyer, a fee that is important for the transfer. Remember, in Costa Rica, the public notary charges a fee for the transfer deed, and usually
Yes.
it's a nice percentage, a good percentage, because that will pay for, you know, the work done before the whole thing. So given that he's going to earn some money there, he could give you like a good price for the other part.
Fernando,
But again, it's up to the group to decide if that makes sense or not. As William said, William just said that, you know, he has never thought of the buyer fixing things that he should fix. You're right.
do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, Mark.
Okay, because I only have 2% of the battery. One thing I'm confused is we defined since the beginning that we are not transferring the companies. We are only selling the lot from the companies. So we will close those companies after.
Yes.
The transfer is not related to companies. So how come he's gonna have the responsibility about the companies?
I think when I read this, I think they already know that the companies have been shut. Either they did the research or someone told them, because I mean, where they in the part that talks about the obligations of the seller.
Okay, but on our side, our condition, you know, that we meet is that everything is clear about taxes and, you know, so the
Yeah.
companies will be cleared, and this is the only condition we want to meet,
right.
and we keep the companies.
Yeah, but it's not clear, Mark and Fernando, what is not clear to me from the text that they wrote is that, yes, number one, I understand that he wants to give this job to somebody that's, you know, that he's going to pay and deduct it, you know, deduct that cost. But what it's not clear to me is that kind of work includes paying the taxes. That means re-regulating the companies, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's check the document. I mean, I will check the document in detail, and maybe you can do that. But remember that the complicated thing here, I mean, paying the taxes is not complicated. Of course, at this time, no one knows how much we have to pay yet. The complicated part is reviving the companies, is then getting the powers of attorney, doing the meetings required to authorize the sale, and the document talks about all those stages. That is the complicated part because of all the things that we have talked in the past. You're not here. Maybe we don't have 100% of the shareholders. People are everywhere, etc. And what I'm not sure is if they want to take care of that because they want to be sure that it is well done, because they want to avoid surprises in the future, or a claim from someone, or someone saying, hey, I didn't even know about this. So I don't know if they want to take control of that process because they think that it's safer for them, and or because they have felt or they feel that the group has been slow in doing things and they want to be sure that things are done in the 60-day term. But this is just speculations. Maybe we should all read again the document and try to conclude if they want to take care of those things or not. And
Yes,
maybe,
I think
or ask William or ask Schneider directly. We have a doubt.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask Schneider. I think it's better. I think because this part, it's really, I would say, legalistic. All right. It's not just the business transactions, we can make comments. This part, I think, requires that maybe Fernando, that you talk directly to somebody in the organization there, that could include Mr. Snyder, okay, and his attorney to understand from him exactly what this means. What's the intention behind it?
What's intention? Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And maybe what you suggested, your reading of it could be very accurate, that they want to take the command of it so that not to waste time and for it to go maybe faster, it doesn't change the fact that they have to go through the same process,
Yeah, because I mean, the document talks about, the shareholder signing powers of attorney, etc. So it seems like someone thought what has to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But again, I'll read it again and maybe write you a small email saying, this is what I can talk with. I don't know if there's a name here of an attorney.
Well, there are two attorneys. There is a lady. Her name is comment elle s'appelle? Lourdes. I mean, Mark can ask Tripp Snyder if we want to talk to an attorney to understand the point, this particular point.
Okay.
Who can we talk to?
Okay, good.
Because the other person is not, the American fellow is not really, I don't believe he's an attorney. I think he's more like a project manager kind of person.
Okay. So Mark is gone.
We lost him because he didn't. Yeah. He had no more power.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Mark can find out that for me, or if I can see an email in one of the emails, I'll try to contact this Lourdes and ask her, or in general terms, and see if she says what I understand in the reasons.
Yeah, Lourdes, I think you saw her name many times already. I think.
Okay.
She's there practically, but so in a lot of correspondence.
Okay.
And she works for Hacienda del Mar, I think.
Okay. We will confirm it.
Yes, yeah. We will get a name for you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's a very important point, I think. That's the part that is for us, it's foggy,
Okay, so going back, you're going to send me a document with the business conditions.
Yes, yeah.
And second, I'll check this with Lourdes, and then we will prepare an offer, review it between ourselves, and then forward it to Mr. Schneider.
Yes, and what we intended to do, actually, in our minds, after talking to you many times on this point in the past, is if there is a deal to be signed and carried through, that Mark and myself would be, and we wanted to appoint you. You know, there was a process we were going to do with all the 10 companies for you to be really leading the you know, we could sign, but with you, you know, so I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Okay.
That you would be also appointed by, you know, have a power of attorney from everyone to be able and carry out the sale.
Okay, okay.
So we don't have to sign all that, because it could be just in their minds that they think all the shareholders need to sign.
Yeah,
Or, you know,
yeah, okay, okay. I understand, yeah. Mhm.
okay. So I'll send you the notes. I'll gather the stuff also that that Mark sent to, and I'll distill them and put them all in one package for you and send
Okay.
it to you tonight.
Okay. Okay, great, thank you, yeah.
Okay, and we, you know, I think it's one day at a time at this, and you know, it's
Yes,
yeah,
yes, it is, okay.
but they're waiting for an answer, you know, of on their offer.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll wait for that information and we'll move as fast as possible. Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Fernando,
Okay.
for making
You're
yourself
welcome. Thank you.
available. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Fernando. See
Bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
Martin.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.